And the last volume here, volume 3, I see there's some discoloration, like it's kind of yellowish. I mean, I think all these books I got used. The first one I traded for, maybe the second too. And then I don't know. I don't know where I got this. But the point is, I cherish these. And in fact, when I moved from Canada to the US, I took only a few books. And this set of 3 were one of 6 books I took with me. So you could see how special they were to me. So this is kind of like a nicer edition. I like that it has like the intro and like what happened before. And here we go, right into the action. This is the great way to begin. Yeah, this last volume really is a solid, excellent volume. And there's a lot more Frazetta going on here, like this kind of pose. You know, these battle scenes are very Frazetta-ish, but then, you know, there's like that aspect of the airbrush. Because I think he lays down a foundation of airbrush, like maybe black or something. And then he maybe uses, I know he uses marker, but there's an issue with marker, because then you use marker and then you use paint on top. But if it's acrylic, I think it's fine. But I remember once using marker and then oil paint on top, and then I tried to spray paint like a clear coat to seal it in, and it brought out the black marker. Kind of looked greenish. So you always have to be careful with that, but I don't think he coats his works after. He just kind of like paints it. He uses a bunch of different media and then, you know, leaves it as this beautiful design work here, like kind of like Klimt. You know, just nice stuff everywhere. This is a great issue. Cool pose. I love this like leaning pose. And this face right here, very realistic lighting, just feels so real and raw. Again, like beautiful variation. This is kind of interesting. The red here, the red there, the red there. This reminds me a bit of, of Arkham Asylum by Dave McKean. There's interesting things with the eyes like that. And I wonder if they knew of each other's work around then. Dave McKean, I think, was also British. Yeah, very Frank Frazetta. This issue is, and then you see the paint is a lot thicker here. You know, I mean, it has its moments. Beautiful texture here. Like, I feel like he really nailed it with the black spray paint and then like the stippling to create this kind of like metallic texture, like worn paint. He's so observant. That's the thing. And observant and very patient to do that kind of texture. Patient and obsessive to, you know, to want to do that. Yeah, great horses. You know, he knows the anatomy of horses too. Love this. This is like amazing here. And it's almost gestural. You know, it's very Frazetta-ish gestural. And then the blue there, whew, beautiful highlights. Purple here, you know, it's gorgeous, gorgeous. These 4 panels are lovely too. You know, just like nice, very subtle, kind of like almost like cutouts. Yeah, I love this. I might have copied this. What I loved also is like like the squishing of anatomy. You know, it's there's kind of like a Richard Corbin thing happening here, because Richard Corbin sometimes played around with anatomy a bit and made things a bit cartoony, but then was so good with texture that he sucked you into the texture. This is great. I mean, I love this figure. You know, the lighting, the volumes and everything look kind of realistic. You squeeze your eyes together and everything, just especially her, looks like real. This is also interesting. Big brush strokes. This is his warp spasm thing. When he gets like into battle, he turns into a monster. This is kind of a cool painting, but it doesn't really have anything. It's just got some texture. Yeah, but it's like too warped for me. It's kind of weird to have such a splash page, because it feels kind of rushed. You know, like it would have been nicer to have something like a little bit more realistic as a splash page, you know, something to kind of cling on to. It's not bad, but yeah. Hate to be critical, because it's like there's so much great work that went into this. I kind of like this splash page too. There's, you know what's happening here with the hair? It's like a bit of lone wolf and cub. That's the vibe I get. There's this like kind of samurai feel to these pages. You know, again, like very realistic lighting there. Gorgeous. What is this? I think underwater or something, because there's dolphins. I don't know, man. It's just freaking beautiful texture. You know, nice hands, like really. It's got this Japanese feel, I feel. This is interesting. You know, great little composition here, beautiful lighting. Little treat here. You know, like these three panels here kind of just sneak in. Yeah, beautiful spreads, you know. The lighting choices here with the blue, what to bring out, you know, using the blue as shadows. Very interesting. Bit of maybe even Mobius going on with the ink work here. So he's just trying different things. It's very fascinating. Yeah, I think the hairdo just, and then even that face looks like very manga. So I'd be curious to follow exactly what he's looking at during this time. You know, and the flowers and stuff, and yeah. It could be, it's like a manga meets like Klimt. So what I sense with this third volume is like he's found a lot of shortcuts, and he's more confident at like applying thicker paint. You know, like thicker finishes, just blocking things in. And he's experimenting with that in different ways. You know, and brighter colors in some ways, but thick. You know, like he's just confident. He could like more quickly get you to results. Like this is brilliant. The masking, the solid kind of like cutout of the figure, and then boom, go in, add the textures you need, just in the select areas you want. So he's gotten like really refined his technique. This is phenomenal texturing. He's also choosing to paint the details of the things he enjoys most. You know, metal. gory teeth and stuff, boobs, you know, more teeth, muscles, violent ribs and things like that. This is cool. These zombies are kind of neat with the flesh rotting away, but like in thick chunks. I love these little panels, like almost abstract, you know, with these small details. Great metal texture. Yeah, I love this. I love the arm there, I love the horse, everything, like big, powerful horse, like Frazetta's Death Dealer, you know, big, strong, Clydesdale type horse. I love these colors a lot, you know, the orange. I like how can see big brush strokes there. I like how things kind of, the way he uses spray paint to just blend the paint, and he just kind of like blends, pulls like the paint into the mysterious blocking of the spray paint. I also like this, the color here, the lighting. Makes it look really realistic. This is a great scene. It's like almost like from 300, but a few years before, you know, very powerful, like armies overwhelmed, big wave, you know, flying ships. It's a cool finale. And you get the impression that this dwarf is kind of telling tales out of school, you know? And especially here, where he's like a Conan type barbarian, he's made to be the hero. So he's fibbing, obviously, a bit, and exaggerating things. I always loved this one. I thought this stuck out, you know, again, like because of the great texture of the muscles, but then boom, like this blocking of lighting, like a flash of neon light. It's an interesting choice. He does a lot of this lighting effect, you know, where like some strong neon light is coming from one direction, which you wouldn't have in that period, you know. So it's like who's holding some club light to his face. This is a Frazetta type pose right here, if there ever was one. And in fact, even the fingers in the hand, I think this must be copied. I bet I could probably find it somewhere. And yeah, again, like these last few pages seem kind of rushed. This is a great one. I love this. I feel like, I love the sketchiness, and it looks like pastels here used as like texture on top. So I do love the chunkiness of it, but then overall it looks rushed. I wonder too if like maybe these pages were somehow done at a different size, like smaller, and then enlarged. But then, you know, he makes up for it the next page, you know, like beautiful, you know, some sort of photo reference, I'm sure. And then, you know, the gray and the orange, phenomenal choice, you know, and to highlight things. Beautiful choice. And then this spread I always loved. I remember drawing this hand because it was like so cool, you know, coming out like that, the fingers. A little exaggerated, obviously, but just gorgeous. Again, beautiful, not quite double lighting, but side lighting. And another self-portrait there and here. Just lovely paintings though. This is kind of nice as a splash page because of the texture. The texture is so well done. But then again, it's kind of wasteful of this space. Maybe, I mean, it's, you know, it's good placement of the text. But I feel like it's an interesting composition. I still like it. This is kind of interesting too. Another great abstract. Like when you see him do things like this, even that, there's some better examples too. I feel like, man, he could have gone into fine art, you know? So yeah, these, they kind of look like rushed. This is all right, but again, like, not the best use of space. I mean, sure, you gotta use a rule of thirds. So I feel like he's still learning composition. Like his strength is texture and what he's willing to spend in terms of time to paint these things. This one I really enjoy because it's like rushed, but it's so well done. You know, like he just knows the body so well now. He's so comfortable. And he just, you know, throwing it out real quick. Like even here, like you could tell how quick everything is done, the big brush strokes, but confident. And this is it, this is the end. So, great texture. Yeah, so this is Slaine, the Horn God 3-volume series. Highly recommended. Just for the art, I mean, it's endlessly, you could look at this over and over and find something new and copy out of it and learn as you see Simon Bisley learn earlier in his career. Really amazing, amazing accomplishment. It's essentially like, you know, having 3 poster books of, like, let's say a Frazetta, you know, just poster after poster. Each panel you could blow up and make into a poster. They're fun, or like album covers, you know. It's like each page is like full of album covers, basically, from the 80s and 90s heavy metal period of genres. Phenomenal. I hope you enjoyed going through this, and check out more reviews at masterpieceartschool.com.